Every day, most of us sit on our phones or computers playing games, pointlessly wasting most of our time. But do you really think that spending time on such rubbish will make your life better, change your life? I've personally seen people become deeply addicted to a mild dopamine. They use their phones like slaves to burn time, but it only makes them worse. And that's a very big, gigantic 21st century problem. Easy dopamine is everywhere, and that's the main reason why there are so many unhappy people. People don't see the meaning in life. The days become gray, without any colors, and people just exist, not live. They just exist for their addictions, sweets, adult movies, absorbing short content. It all takes time out of your life, and most importantly, it's energy. That's what I was like, no different. Until at one point, life slapped me in the face so hard that I could no longer hide behind the pleasures and became completely disillusioned with life. It even got to the point of depression. That's how serious it was. Why am I saying this? Because I want to give you an understanding of what I'm trying to explain. Otherwise, it's like giving a monkey a machine gun. Now I'm going to give you clear instructions on what to do. I've compiled them from personal experience, and I know they'll help you. Remember, you have to do all of it, not part of it, and you'll get results. If you do half of it, you won't get half the result. It's all or nothing. The choice is yours. What has worked in my practice is this. Think clearly about how much and where you spend your time. Figure it out. Otherwise, the rest of the steps will just be a waste of time. A building without a solid foundation will quickly collapse. You need something that will fill you spiritually. To live, you need a purpose, and to exist, it is enough to fulfill physical needs: food, water, sleep. To find your calling, ask yourself, what would I do if I were the only person on earth, or if I were the richest person in the world? You can take your time and think for a few days. You don't want a quick answer, you want an exact answer. It's very easy to sit down to flick through a tape and only wake up 3 hours later. This is common practice for many people, but it can be avoided by setting a clear time frame. The problem is we're not always strong enough to stand up to ourselves, which is why remember what I'm about to say. Realize clearly that you can't get rid of everything harmful at once. It's like poison. You can drink just one drop and it will spread throughout your body. So what's my point? You need a will of steel. You can't be happy without it. It's your golden ticket to a better life. You've probably dreamed of starting to change your life next year or Monday, but when the time came, you either put it off or you did a lot of good things but eventually gave up. Sound familiar? You're not alone. All people are like that, and I've suffered from it because no one can change their life dramatically, even if they want to. The reason is that our will, when we improve our life, is a resource that is constantly spent and is not replenished in any way, which means sooner or later the will run out and you will go back to the beginning. To avoid this, you need to stop fighting with yourself and accept yourself. This is similar to the principle of flow. You don't need to swim against the current, you need to choose the right river and go with the flow. To do this, you should accept all your flaws and advantages. Instead of giving up your phone, you should create an environment where you don't want to use it. A good way to do this is a quick cancellation. When you're flipping through Reels, for example, and you just want to distract yourself with a drink of water, you just take that moment and put your phone away. I think you get the principle. You don't have to use your will, you wait for the right moment when there's a gap in the defense and punch it. You may have to expend willpower, but clearly not as much as you used to. This is the principle I once used to begin my transformation after many attempts to start on Monday. Next, let's form new healthy habits, if you've followed the past points, of course. Before we form habits, a quick question. How long do you think I lasted when I decided to go to the gym, and how long do you think I lasted just doing 30 to 50 push-ups at home every day? Certainly very little in both cases, but I hit the gym after a week and did push-ups for almost a month. Understand the point is, firstly, to make the habit easy, secondly, not requiring a lot of time. The key to success is the milestone of 21 days, 50 days, and 100 days. In 21 days, you can form a basic habit. In 50 days, make the habit the norm, and in 100 days, make it a part of life. The success in forming habits is to make them part of life. You have to do them without thinking. That's the whole point. It's time to talk about one of the pillars of success. It's consistency of effort. To fulfill this condition, you need to know clearly when you can do it. It is so good that we have time. Thanks to it, we can break our day into blocks and get things done on time. So firstly, you need to write your schedule of major things to do. Let's take my schedule when I was a student. There are 24 hours in a day, of which I had 8 hours for sleeping, 8 hours for studying, and 2 hours for extra things. In the end, I had 6 hours left. But what did I do with those 6 hours? Nothing useful, of course. I was just like you, sitting around doing stuff. So if you've got 6 hours, you've got time to do something. And if you also manage to do everything faster and work not 8, but 3 to 4 hours, then the result is more time. So I don't care about your excuses. If you don't work 2 jobs or study part-time, you don't even have to say anything. These people have a different situation. Anyway, here's what I'm relaying to you from my personal experience. You have 6 hours left left, which most people have in the evening. I know you're tired and you don't feel like it, but remember everything you've learned today and take your will in your fist. Spread your 6 hours this way. Dedicate an hour to sports, 2 hours to studying, and 3 hours to working on a project. This is the schedule I had when I started going after my dream, except I worked extra hours while driving to school, while driving home, at lunch, and so on. You can make your own personal schedule and stick to it. But I've personally learned from experience that you can't become great without a plan, because a good plan is half of success. It's not for nothing they say that if you don't plan for your success, you're planning for failure. First, remember your goals and your motivation. Write it down on paper and plan from it to your present self. That is, not from yourself, but from your goal to yourself. If you want an athletic body, write out what it takes to get there, then break it all down until you get to yourself. If you don't get it, here's an example. Beautiful body. You need abs, big pecs, triceps, biceps, wide back, pumped legs. For abs, you need a low-fat percentage, workouts, proper nutrition. For low-fat percentage, you need to do cardio, have a workout plan, eat lots of protein and less fat. My friend, I know this is going to sound corny, but it's going to take you a lot of time. Even if you do 1,000 pull-ups a day, but if you only do it for a week, you won't see much results. If you do just 10 pull-ups for a year, you're already building muscle. What's my point? You need to take your time. There's no point in trying to embrace the ritual. Just keep doing it. Results come to those who try, and instead of pushing yourself to the limit, give yourself time. Many large investments take 5 to 10 years to pay off, and it's not because the investment is bad. On the contrary, the longer a thing takes to pay off, the more valuable it is. Of course, you have to be careful, but any business will pay off over time. The simple principle of growth is to do something for a long time, and even when there is no energy, even when there are no resources, even when there is nothing, you have to keep going. Success comes to everyone, and I want to say that even though today's video is only a small piece of knowledge, but it's already enough to change a whole life. This video can change your life if you do as I say. If you want success, be hard as steel and fast as lightning. I'm only giving my recommendations so you can allocate your time as you see fit. You don't have to do everything exactly as I said. Make your plan, your schedule, set your goal, and go for it. I want to emphasize to my friend that the most important part of this is to find a goal, because if you don't have a goal, you won't be successful. When you have a goal, you will wake up every day with the desire to achieve it. You will be ready to wake up at 4 in the morning, at 3 in the morning. You won't care whether you have slept well or not. You will take action every day. Why don't many people want to wake up in the morning? It's really very simple. They are no longer interested in the day they have to live, and because of this, the alarm clock is postponed again and again. Remember, as a child, if you and your parents were going on a trip in the morning that you were interested in, you got up before everyone else and waited until everyone else was asleep. It's the same in life, and I believe my experience will help you more than a dozen times over. Thank you for watching, and subscribe because it's only going to get more interesting.